Good morning, good morning. And good afternoon for those in the UK and other spots. How's everybody doing? We got a bit of a mixed bag of nuts today. This is one of those, oh man, this is one of those situations where it's changing, right? It's changing, but it doesn't want to change. You're up $700 today? Nice work, Jerry. Beautiful. Nice, 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 nice. So I'm going to go through the puzzling sort of larger picture. The great trade that worked was the short on the look above and fail of 60.66, right? And you're asking, JJ, we didn't get over it. We did. We got over it in the overnight. See, there's the look above, there's the fail. Now it's supposed to rotate lower down to 19 and then down to this 50.89.80. But there's a problem. On the way to the store at 59.80, there's this pesky short position that I spoke about in Globex. If you guys watch the Globex recording, and for those who didn't get a chance to, let me repeat it. And I apologize for repeating stuff, but I feel this is important. Do you notice that when we got down to that poor low from the overnight on Sunday, and I just kept that line just out of curiosity. I know we traded through it here, but I wanted to see if we got underneath 59.92, would those short sellers who are trapped from 59.72, 75, you see there? This little area here from 59.75 to 92. This is like full, like the lake outside Ray's house. That's full of gators, right? And their shorts, they're all sitting there because they're trapped underneath this level. This is the day and the subsequent night of the Edith and Archie Bunker fight. All right, this is when Archie Bunker and his wife had their fight Thursday of last week, and we closed here, and then the market railed up and threw us up back up over 59.90. Right? So where that chunk of volume is where the shorts are trapped. And they added to it on Sunday night, and then they got punished. So the look above and fail worked. That was a nice trade. I myself had one really good trade yesterday where I shorted 30, and I think I covered 19 or something like that. But it was a decent trade and the first decent trade I'd had all week. Okay? So what we're looking at now, right, is a situation where we have a bit of a push-pull. And what's going on is we should be selling off and breaking 90. Right? We should be breaking 90 and we should be coming into here. The only problem is these short sellers keep buying it back And also, overnight inventory is about 95% short. So we're correcting it right now. So let's see if we can get up to the close. So sorry for that sort of long soliloquy, but I feel that you guys should be able to look at these structures and get some good information about it. Oh, hang on. I got some YouTube questions here. Stay with me, folks. Blah, blah, blah. GME, float rotation. Could you predict the price of a stock if the float rotates multiple times? No. As an approximate number, when you say $100 is the case. Quick example, stock is $2, blah, 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 blah. No, 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 no. I would never try and predict the price of a stock, Maxime. Especially, are you guys familiar with the phrase when the street takes it? And Maxime, if no insiders and manipulators dump their stock into the retail buying, where's the fun in that? I'll tell you a little secret. There's no reason that a stock gets retail buying other than for the insiders to dump their stock into. Do you know what I mean? Retail buying is created. It doesn't just spontaneously appear. Retail buying is created because people like myself create retail buying for my clients, who are the insiders and the manipulators, to dump their stock into. And it's very hard to predict price. Just doing calculations like that. I wish we could, but you can't. Especially when the street takes a stock. If the street takes a stock, that means it's become popular. You have no idea. The order flow becomes very unpredictable. So it could catch fire like GME, or it could just catch fire for a day and then fizzle out. It's very hard to predict. That's why I don't trade stock. I like the ES because it's nice and boring, and it tells me very clearly what's going on. That's why today I'm a little bit of, we should be going lower, but these pesky shorts who are trapped under 6,000, under 59.90, they keep buying it back. So that's our big level, is that overnight low today, okay, folks? Right? We're correcting inventory up. If we can't get to the close, it'll probably rotate back down, and we'll be looking for that. Maxime, I hope that answer, it sounded a little jaded, but the truth be told is there would be no retail buying in a stock unless we wanted to dump our stock into it. Retail buying is created. Markets don't spontaneously start getting hot, right? You guys are conditioned to be sold to, right? That's what we try and do in this room here at the Trading Syndicate. We try to flip the script. So our retail friends, instead of being conditioned to just blindly buy whatever they're told to buy, they're like, you know what? We'll think like a wholesaler and trade alongside the wholesalers. And this way, we're not going to be fighting the market. Does that make sense? I hope so. Right? There's no reason for a stock to become popular other than somebody wants to make it popular. Why would you want to make a stock popular? So you could sell a whole ton of it. Right? Remember, folks, in the end, it's a market. The market is supposed to bring you in and have you leave with less money. Right? That's the goal. Right? That's the dream. is to bring in millions of people to buy a product and sell it to them, and then have you go away, right? Just come in, buy it, now go away. No complaints, no returns, right? And that's how markets work, right? We want to bring you in to sell you a bunch of stuff. Whether you need it or not, we don't really care. We just want to sell it to you, right? Now, I know that sounds very jaded, but that's the truth. The truth is that we are here to sell you stock, futures, whatever you want to buy, we'll sell it to you. You guys want to buy like some two-timed leverage ETF based on when a penguin sneezes? We'll sell it to you. You know? Whatever you want, we'll sell to you. Right? If it doesn't exist, we'll invent it and then sell it to you. Right? Just as long as we get your money. That's the most important thing. Right? What if we accept above yesterday's close? Then look for everybody and his dog to short cover S pill. If we accept above everybody above yesterday's close S pill, there's going to be a lot of really angry shorts that are going to be forced to cover. I can hear them screaming and yelling and cursing now. They're holding out as much as they can, right? Nobody wants to cover a short. It's the worst thing in the world, right? Shorts hate covering. Oh, what a business. Okay, let's look at some trades off the open here. Where's my 1 minute chart? Ah, here it is. Okay, my original balance zone was 6,001 half to 6 quarter. Double it to 15 and 3 quarters. We just did a look above and fail of 15 and 3 quarters. Um, Basically, right now, I'm playing spot the seller. And that's where our sellers are. They're right here. The close is up here at 28. Just here. Let's keep that on file. What is the correlation with the previous day's close, Howard? Everybody, his dog, his cat, bird, and fish are short underneath yesterday's close. So if we get above yesterday's close and hold, all those people who are short are going to have to race to cover. And it will be ugly. Yes, Patty, we just looked above and failed 19 and 19 and a quarter. Yeah, nobody wants to cover their short. Shorts hate to cover. By the way, did anybody see the argument that Jim Chanos and Michael Saylor are getting into? I think this is going to be a good one. We finally have another long short battle. We haven't seen one of these in a while. I think Chanos came out of retirement to short MicroStrategy. So this should be a hot time in the old town going into month end and quarter end, right? Squeeze hard? Yes, Howard. Squeeze. If we get above yesterday's close, expect short covering, which will cause a short squeeze. Make sense? Oh, sure you do, Howard. You just forgot. How do you tell if they're short? What's the inventory, Howard? Right? The inventory is 95% short. We did a look above and fail of 66. So everybody's shorting looking for lower. They added it to it in the nighttime because the night looked very weak. So out of that volume down there, say around 6,000 to 59.90, I bet you a lot of that volume is short. You can tell just by the way it's trading too. After a while, you'll see when a market is really short, it starts getting really responsive when it moves back up. Because that short bid's in there. You know? Exactly, Jim. Exactly. Don't worry, Howard. It's a little bit. It's not. It's not obvious, right? So I'm glad you asked that question because it's not obvious, and especially to people who don't use market profile, they're like, "What the hell is JJ talking about?" But after a while doing this, and when you trade one market exclusively, you get to really, really know it. It's like having one girlfriend as opposed to 10 girlfriends, right? When you have one girlfriend, you pay attention to her, hopefully. So you know when she's in a good mood. You know when to hide in the garage, right? All that sort of thing, right? So ES, once you get to know it a little bit, right? If you're watching it and you watch it really sort of, you know, you pay attention. You'll start noticing places. See, this all is because of these two knuckleheads in their little lovers quarrel last week, right? So it's created this weird price action, a weird short squeeze, right? It's not been an easy trade. I didn't get I didn't get my discipline going at all this week until yesterday. I was really trading crappy until yesterday. And even today, I'm not as good as I was yesterday. I need to work on my discipline. Really need to work on my trading discipline. That's been lacking this week. Yeah, Musk apologized. Now the new fight, Jeff, is Michael Saylor and Jim Chanos. That's the new drama on MSTR. See, I don't remember Saylor from 1999 digital. I don't remember him. Interesting. I hope for the people who are long that stock it works out because, man, there's a lot of people who are long MicroStrategy and they're really like drinking the Kool-Aid, right? So I hope it works out for them. Anytime a stock has a cult-like following, I get a little nervous, right? And I also get a little jealous. It's like, how come I can't have a stock with a cult following? Where they'll forgive the CEO for everything, you know? It's like, where were these cult-like shareholders when I had 300 million shares to sell? Dang it. Now we've got some distribution above 12, folks. That's what's going on here. Where's good old VWAP? Oh, it's almost Friday. It's almost Friday. Boy, oh boy. Tell you, these markets are weird. Decent rotations, yeah. Oh boy. Might take more than one day to get some decent liquidation, folks. Speaking of deals, let's go see what's cooking in the pre-market. Tesla, it came up above 328 yesterday, but we got obviously got a little profit taking on Tesla this morning. Nvidia 144.78. I told you guys there's going to be resistance there. Right. It's going to backfill now a little bit. What else do you guys look at? Oh yeah, there's your GME. Holy crap. What the hell? It's a bit of a gap down. Is that what you guys were talking about this thing? Ooh. Oh, somebody got reamed. Oh, is that really? I didn't know he did that in 99. Thanks for the heads up, Digital. Oh, man. Well, GME, it was fun while it lasted. I didn't even look at the stock. That's why everybody was talking about it, I guess, earlier. Because it gapped down. Okay. Before we start the day off, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind you about our trading room at the Trading Syndicate. right? If you enjoy this stream, right, please consider joining the trading syndicate. This is where I teach and trade all day. You get access to myself, and you get access to some really decent traders, whether you're trading commodities or, and we even have a guy who's really good with the sports betting stuff. That's Ray. Um, we like to collaborate. You get all your questions answered. We've got a discount in the description. It's only about 50 cents a day, and you can cancel anytime. And I guarantee you that you will learn more in a month with us than you will 10 years anywhere else. And that's practical information that you can use to actually make money instead of a bunch of double talk. And also, you can learn how to get fully funded with our friends at Apex Trade Funding. Their discount code is in the description below. So learn how to trade using someone else's money. OPM is always a good thing. And it teaches you discipline. Please check it out. Jam, what are you talking about? Going off the rails again. Must have electrocuted yourself putting in that video card. Ugh. So let's see. Trades off the open. What are our trades off the open? What do I do with my open sticker? I'll just grab one of these. Hell with it. So I'm insanely short biased. I can say that out loud. So I'm aware of it. Because the last thing I want to be is really, really badly short biased and be shorting a market and have it go up on me. That's really not the point of trading. How's that new contract doing? 45,000 contracts in the new one. Not ready for prime time yet. Good distribution here, eh, folks? You can definitely see that there's a seller just under 15 and 3/4. Ah, overnight POC moved up. Good distribution. Let's see, do we put it on sale now? So Howard, here we go. Let's see if, because the point of control moved up, let's see if that causes us to have to put the market on sale. Yeah, see, the thing is, I am listening. I don't know when it's going to move and how it's going to move. If you haven't been around lately, I've been really, really pushing this whole concept of letting the chart, like really, really listen to the chart. Let the chart tell me what's going on, because I have not been able to predict what's going to happen at all. So I have to really, really put my faith in the chart. And off we go. It has been difficult. It has been very strange. Last week was insanely strange, right? And now we're trying to work out that strange, right? So I got to really trust the chart. I'm short biased, but if this market can't take out the open and take out that A low, well, my short bias is wrong, right? And overnight inventory is about 95% short, right? You know, there's a group of traders, I don't know how they came up with this, where they'd go, oh, in 3 hours the market will be here, and in 6 hours it'll be here, and by the 21st of November it'll be here. I'm like, what sort of wizardry is that? How did you figure that out? Right? But they do it, and I don't know how they do that, and I don't even bother to try. If they hung out with Squirrel, they're all ex-CIA, that's why. Aggressive seller at 16. There we go. I shorted 14 and covered 12. Just a couple. Just hopping in and out. I'm trading and I'm covering too early and selling too early. That's my lack of discipline this week. That's what I got to work on. Come on, take out that 11. Where's VWAP, folks? Is it still in the same place? There it is. Expect a little front running before we get to VWAP. See, in the old days, we'd do a nice look above and fail of 60, 66, and we'd be under 59.80 right now. Right? But those two guys had to go and have that big argument, and everybody got caught short. You know, everyone got seriously caught short under 59.80, which is a bit of a, you know, as the dude would say in the Big Lebowski, it's a bit of a bummer, man. Seller at 13 and 3/4. Let's see if they lift. There, they're lifting. Oh, what is the Globex high? Oh, they're 32. Persistent little bids here. Look at the lows on each one of these candles. Each low is just a tick or two higher. See if we can take out that low. Come on. Sell it like you mean it. There we go. See, there's some size coming in at the bottom. Yeah, I've watched a lot of movies. I think it'd be cool to be in the movie business, but it's worse than finance. We came close to VWAP. They front ran it. If you're short off of that 16, 14, really 12 and a half, 13 is your sort of, that's your warning, right? If we lose that seller here, it's funny, I know a lot of actors from living in Vancouver, and they wouldn't be able to trade their way out of a wet paper bag. I mean, nice guys, but they they were doing other things instead of sitting in front of a computer screen. Sorry. I don't know. Just all the actors I know are, you know, they're coming home at like 5, 6 in the morning. They're not. Maybe things are different now. Oh man, sorry. Uh, how you doing, Julian? Good to see you. I didn't hear from you today. See, that's your goal line defense if you're a short seller. If we lose that seller, it's at 13. Yeah. See? Yeah. I know a lot of those guys play poker, but I don't know if they make money or lose money. I don't know anything about poker. That's Ray's thing. Well, if you can't sell them, buy them. Look at that. It's a very frustrating market for shorts. Okay, I did not know that. I am listening. Sorry. I just I just thought of, because I was working at nightclubs, when they were filming X Files and all those things, and I can't imagine any of those people trading. Yeah, I've never been able to get into card games. The look there's a bit of a long over 16. If we can get past this 18, oh, I think I'd drive Ray crazy. I don't think I could sit still that long. And I grew up. I have a friend of mine who was not a professional, but he played poker for money, and that's how he made his living. And then when he'd lose money, he was a waiter in a French restaurant, and he still does that. But he'd go, yeah, meet me at this poker game. I'd go there. It'd be 4 in the morning to pick him up. And it was in the back of a Chinese restaurant, and everybody looked like a gangster, and they were all chain smoking. So that's sort of my poker's very different now. Okay. My question is, can we stay above 16 and a half? Bids are coming in. If we take out that A high, 21 and a half is your next target. You know, when we had that news come out, what was it, about an hour ago it came out? We didn't get the big lift that I thought we would get. They really sold into it pretty hard. So looking for 21 and a half, 22. That stop right there, then 25. And then yesterday's close is at 28, which is just right there. Why do we want to see the overnight correction? To see if it's regular business or not, Lonigan. Because if overnight inventory is this short and it can't correct higher, it tells me that sellers are competing, which means I should not be going long. But here it is actually correcting. It's just kind of doing it in that slow, creepy way that we've been seeing all week, where the market kind of looks weak and you short it, and then you look back and it's up 6 points, and you're like, what the hell? Right? It's like those zombies where you shoot the zombie and then it pops right back up again. Right? That's the kind of market we've been dealing with for the last really 5 or 6 trading sessions. Right? Even the whole Trump Musk lovers tiff was bought up very quickly. It was almost like a penny stock flush. And that penny stock flush caught a lot of people short under 59.80. So every time we get close to 59.80, the bids come in hot and heavy from all of those people who are short. because it's kind of like a beginning of the month short squeeze, right? And to make things a little bit more cloudy, we have contract rollover and all that options expiry gobbledygook next week. So it's not really clear. That's why my whole sorry, what I've been preaching is let the chart really let the chart tell us what's going on. And if you can't figure it out, miss a few trades, right? You know, miss a few trades, it's okay, right? Do we have a lag today? You know, it's been a good month without lag. Today's the first day that we've got some. Apologies for that. I do see that now. About 30 seconds. 30 seconds is not bad. Could be worse. But sometimes the lag is incredible. I guess it's whatever back end YouTube is using because I'm uploading on Fiverr. Yeah, you really got to trade what's in front of you and trust the chart. You know, you really got to trust the chart. Um, the chart will tell you, the chart is the most accurate representation of the business at any given time. Please be advised that June clearing Legion Thursday, June 19th. Oh, that's next Thursday, right? Oh, that's right. There's a holiday in the middle of the week. I wonder why they don't make it a long weekend. Anywho, right? Let's see. This buying is not, um, it's not enthusiastic, that's for sure. Howard, this is what I'm talking about. This is, if you've been trading this for a while, kind of feels like the buying is forced. And that's because it is. So let's see if we can take out that 22.5 stop. If we can, the next target up will be around 25. Yeah, because it is. Seller at 21 right now. Let's see if we can clean those out. Long 20 3/4. Selling the first one at 20 1/4. Second one at 20.5. Third at 20 3/4. And I am flat. Yes, exactly. Now, yes. right? A lot of like I won't trade by feel, right? Not when a market is completely mechanically traded and electronically traded. I've gotten into that where I've gotten into trouble for doing that, right? If a market, I have a, it's very hard to trade by feel ever since they automated everything. That's why trade setup, don't abandon your discipline, right? Right? The setup's got to be there, and the chart confirms the setup. Yeah, and that's good. You've noticed that ever since April, something seems fishy because it is, and it's a really big fish, and it's a fish with orange hair. Right? Sorry, I had to take that shot. It was out there. I had to take it. No offense. Don't want to get into politics. We're talking hair color. Okay, it's fashion. Okay, so hey, Crypto Mania, thank you. So our friend with the orange, yellow, whatever color hair, right? He's been changing the macroeconomic conditions. Carrot Top. Well, I wonder whatever happened to Carrot Top, Jeff. Right? He keeps changing the macro. Right? Tariffs, no tariffs, this, that. All of this stuff. And what that does is it creates a lot of indecision in the market, and the order flow reflects that. Patty, I'm using the 5 o'clock close. See, and now I can actually, if this was traded by human beings, I could hear them screaming because they're all short under 16, right? Look, out of this volume here, out of this volume, how many people do you think were shorting the hell of that because they saw a seller, position wise? No problem, Jerry. Well done. Nice day. Beautiful day. Keep it up. Now go enjoy your day. You've made your money. Go enjoy it. Don't spend it all in one place. Remember, Mr. Deeds? Don't go spending it all on some fancy stereo now. It is a slow, it's this grinding price action. And it's just built on the tears of short sellers. Yeah, I miss the old 70s stereo stuff. A little bit of Supertramp. That's hilarious. Okay, we coming up on that close. They're front running it. So for those of you who are like gun to your head shorts, if you're shorting, use the close as a stop, okay? And then buy into that backfill. Yeah, Leslie, you're my age, so Supertramp Paris, 1979. I think I played that album so much I wore it out. Nice short off of that front run of the close. Did anybody get that? I was too busy flapping my gums to take it. Dang it. Hey, Elsie, oh, that's good. Somebody got it. Now, here comes chapter two, right? In 3 minutes, B period's going to open. And let's see if we can run the stops over 60.28, right? If we can run those 60.28 stops, then the short sellers are going to be in big trouble. Yeah, VPOC moved up too, right? They're coming in for it hot and heavy, right? So right now the shorts are getting kind of nervous, right? Might be reaching for that bottle of Malox that they've got on their desk, or Pepto-Bismol, whatever your choice is, right? Little Pepto-Bismol and Jack Daniels, that's a nice combination, right? If you were short, right? You guys do know that's the short seller's cocktail of choice. Pepto-Bismol and Jack Daniels. Right? Hey, it was the 90s. Okay. Oh, man. Because if we take out that close, and especially if we take out that overnight high, that'll create a good amount of buying. So the sellers have been slowly, but the time frame is so tight. It's only a minute. They're kind of moving their offers down. Let's see if they keep that up. I'll wait till the next period to take a trade. Okay, here we go. Looks to the upside again. Nothing for me to do here. I want to see if we can hold 16. That's good, Marky. Yeah, another long A period. It's a bit like a murder mystery today, Raj. I'll scalp in and out. The big nice trade was that short of 60-60, 60-50 yesterday, down to the 30s, and then even down to 6,000 if you were going to hold it. Now we're kind of sorting out that old business. Yeah, you see, as soon as they get close to when we start creeping up and getting close to that close, right? The size traders who are long dump into it because they know that other traders are trying to run it higher, right? It's pretty funny. Here we go. Here we go. If we can rip the overnight high, as Supertramp would say, that would be the crime of the century. This is the drama. I don't want to be involved. I'll scalp it, but I won't go position long. I don't mind scalping long. When there's a good battle, you can take advantage of it by scalping long, but I won't commit too much capital to it. Exactly, Zeth. Oh, just let it set up. If the trade isn't clear, right, just chill. What does it mean when a weak low disappears from the TPO chart? I don't understand. When it gets traded through? Is that kind of what you mean? I would love to see some liquidation, William. Oh, so if it's a weak low, that means size broke it. That's all, right? So if the weak low is, say, at $5, right? If it's a poor low or a weak low, whatever it is, right? Oh, well, the low should be still there. It should just show that it traded through it, unless it's the same candle. But I don't know what time frame your chart's on. For me to have a weak low or a poor low, it's got to be 2 half-hour candles. Oh, this is the little distribution, right? This is taking this product here and selling it up here. So I've been so wrapped up in the short drama. It's just distribution above VWAP. Oh, Where's MSTR? Oh, GME under 23. It dipped under. Dang it. Oh, they wipe out people in that stock. 383 MSTR. Okay. So when a market goes like this and you get these tight little candles, just relax. Wait for your setup, right? What I'm looking for is this B low to come and test the open down there. And that might be a buy if it looks below and fails the open. Right? A look below and fail of 15 3/4 would be nice. But right here, I don't see any direction. And my execution setup is nowhere to be seen. So now I just relax. All right, looks like we're going to try for 28. Here we go. Let's see what kind of stops it takes when it takes that 28. There's a stop run. And if it can take the overnight high, you're looking for around 35, 34 3/4. Now this sell into it. When we get down to 25, let's see what kind of response we can dig up. The thing is, I don't understand why you don't look at the bid and ask to understand the liquidity at each price. Oh, I don't need to. You just watch the offer, right? If the offer is going up, that means there's buyers. If the offer is moving down, it's moving down to capture the buyers. Real simple, Maxime. Most retail traders are looking at too much stuff, right? And I'm not trading like 2,000 ES contracts, so I don't care about the liquidity at each price level. It doesn't matter to me, right? I'm a retail trader. All I need to know is where the sellers engage and where they stop selling. Yeah, they're kind of dragging this thing up, eh, Doc? It's not really. It's not really enthusiastic buying. Yeah, so that's why I don't have to delve into the minutia because in finance they give you all this information, right? And more information than you actually need to make money. Like right now, I know just by watching it that the market's offering above the close. If we run out of buyers, we'll start offering below the close, right? As soon as their software, as soon as their order flow software sees buyers come into the system, it will raise the ask. So you don't need to look at the bid and ask. You don't really care about the bid. The bid are the suckers. The ask is who's making the market. Is the red line. Very simple. right? So do the buyers have to pay, are the buyers there, then you can raise the offer. If there are no buyers, you lower price because it's a market. It's real simple, right? That's all you need. Draw a line and watch the bid, the ask. Don't worry about the bid. The bid will follow the ask as it moves higher, right? Real simple. Like, see, watch 28. See how we offer back and forth over 28? Because there's a lot of business to be done there because everyone's transacting at the close, right? So you'll see the volume start to build out there. See, it's 2,500 contracts, 2,700 contracts. Now, as sellers compete, the offer will move lower. If sellers see buyers lining up, they'll raise prices. So you don't have to worry about each tick, right? That's all a way. That's just going to fill your head with a bunch of useless information, right? What information do I need to know to make money, right? If I'm short here, I know that the sellers are here. There's a wall of sellers. If I lose those sellers, I cover my short. Right? If your seller goes away, cover your short. How do you see iceberg orders? You don't care about all that stuff, Maxime. That's all marketing. That's all marketing, my friend. Iceberg, all that iceberg lettuce stuff, that's all marketing stuff that they try to sell retail traders that you think you need this, you need that. They'll talk about delta and confluence and flatulence and icebergs and unfinished business and all sorts of nonsense. Just throw all that away and just watch the price. Right? How do you think people traded before 1995? Right? How do you think they traded before all this software? If I gave you, Maxime, if I gave you a pencil and a piece of paper and I showed you the price every 15 minutes, would you be able to trade? Because that's how it's been done for thousands of years. Right? All this stuff is marketing to get you guys to buy software. And you can tell who's trapped by looking at your chart. So here, anybody who's long above yesterday's close is trapped, liquidating. And here, anybody who's short under 59.90 is trapped. That's why it bids. You see, if you use common sense and practical business and actually understand the mechanics of the market, you don't need to spend a lot of money on software you don't need. Right? All that stuff's all marketing. All you need to trade is a 1-minute chart with some lines on it. That's all you need. What about the new contract? It's not quite ready for prime time, Raj. We've only traded 68,000 contracts in the new one, as opposed to 411 in the old. It's starting to pick up some steam. They were going to run the overnight high. Looking at that N high. Next set of stops will be the K high. And we got a nice short squeeze going. These are the upper stops. Yesterday's point of control, where 70% of the inventory is priced, is 45.5. I hope that helps, Maxine. But for retail traders, you want to really limit the amount of information you look at into exactly what do I need to make money. When I see sellers competing, I will short. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Gentleman who just asked, I think. I won't short a move on the front side, right? It's interesting you said when there's no buyers, because when there's no buyers, the market will go on sale and then I can short. But not until we've identified a seller. How do I feel the change of market conditions without looking at the liquidity? I don't even know what that means. Maxime, are you trading like, I'm sorry, the way you talk, it seems like you're trading thousands of ES contracts. Because you're talking about liquidity a lot. If you're trading any less than, I mean, if you're trading 20 to 50 contracts, you don't really need to worry about liquidity. I mean, if you're trading like 2,000 E-mini contracts, 5,000 E-mini contracts, right? Oh, okay, well then throw all that stuff out. That's all useless information, right? You're catching on to key words that are not going to make you any money. How do you identify competition between sellers? It's a great question. You use a technique called the look above and fail, right? All that liquidity stuff, it's all a bunch of bunk. Do you guys know what liquidity is? Okay, we're going to take these upper stops that'll create some buying. Don't short the front end of a move. Okay? Don't short the front end of the move. Wait for the sellers to appear. Right? I told you guys that if we took the close, that we would take the overnight high, and then if we took the overnight high, everybody's short under that overnight high, and that's going to create buying. Let them punch each other out and buy. Wait till the sellers have to compete. Now, we're looking above 34 and 3/4. As we come back down, this is a backfill, this red candle, right? So we're going into the 8-time profit zone. Now, if you were to short here, right? I'm not saying to short here, right? I'd wait for the next candle, and if the next candle can't get over 35, then you would short and you'd put your stop at the top of that candle. The way it's acting right here, I would not short it unless you see the highs of each subsequent candle getting lower. You don't have to hit the top, right? But this is a backfill, this red candle, right? Maxime, you're talking a bunch of nonsense, right? How you look at the market context is you look at the chart. I don't know where you learned all this stuff, but you've been sold every single piece of snake oil and nonsense that gets retail traders into trouble. Just look at the 1-minute chart. Watch my screen. It's really simple. I promise it'll make your life simple. Come spend a week in our room. No trader, unless he's high on cocaine, is going to tell you what he's going to do in the order book. It's ridiculous. Right? All of that stuff is smoke and mirrors. If you're learning and you want to learn how to trade, and you want to really learn how to trade with some practical information where you can actually make money instead of chasing your tail with all this mumbo jumbo and nonsense like order books and liquidity. Liquidity is if you need to move 5,000 contracts, you need liquidity. Liquidity is the ability to move size without adversely affecting price. which which really applies to zero retail trader, because none of you guys are trading 2, 3, 4, 5,000 contracts. So you don't need to worry about liquidity. It's meaningless for you, right? It's a buzzword, right? That people teach all this stuff, but they're not profitable. Watch the 1-minute chart. That's all you need. That's all you need. It tells you the transactions that are happening in real time, right? So right here, we're doing a little distribution, right? A little distribution. Ah, stupid Epic pen, right? Just watch the chart, right? If you see the offer moving higher, it means they've seen buyers. Remember, folks, it's a market, right? It's a market. That's why they call it the stock market, futures market, bond market, right? A market is there to distribute goods, right? Don't get caught up in all this order book nonsense, right? It's all just smoke and mirrors. Listen, if I put you in a stock where I'm a size trader, I'll trade millions of shares around you. You'll be looking at the order book, which is the level 2, and I'll paint a picture that you think something will be happening while I'm doing the opposite. And you won't know what hit you. No professional trader it'd be like those poker players showing everybody their hand. That's why order books, all that stuff is useless. This just tells me how much time is left in the next candle, until the next candle. So these are 1-minute candles. That's all. It is simple. You guys, markets have been going on for thousands of years. How do you think they transacted before you had screen-based trading? They didn't have order books that you could see. They didn't have all that crap with charts, all that stuff. Right? When I started in the early 90s, we didn't even have dynamic level 2. You had to hit refresh. How do you think people traded with a piece of paper and a pencil? They did. Right? And they made money. Higher lows means the buyers are following the offer, right? Think of the offer, this red line, right? Think of that as a carrot on a stick, and we're leading the buyers higher, and they're chasing the carrot. Right? Yeah, I think TR is just time remaining in that particular candle. Right? If you want to learn how to trade with some common sense, like practical, where do I take the trade? Right? What is the business reason for taking the trade? So for example, if I were to go long 36, right? Maxime, I hate to say it, when you're ready to learn and you want to stop trying to teach, I'll be happy to answer your questions. Okay? Do you see how the market's offering under 34 3/4? Right? I don't mean to be rude, but I keep telling you to throw that stuff away. And I don't know where you've been programmed, but it's not helping you at all. You're speaking gibberish. right? You're completely speaking gibberish. Yeah, so none of that stuff you're talking about matters. I hate to say it. It's gibberish. It's a market and they're selling a product. So if they see buyers, they'll raise price. Just watch the candles in front of you. Watch what I'm telling you to watch. It'll make your life a lot easier, right? Instead of all that gibberish that you're talking about. Si tu es français, c'est toutes les niaiseries ça, if you understand what I'm saying. C'est totalement niaiseux. Okay? All right? It's ridiculous. You're talking a bunch of nonsense. Right? If you want to learn, come join our room. We'd love to have you. I'll deprogram you. Don't worry. Okay? Yes, Redbeard. Right? Especially when I start trading, right? Well, she keeps asking the same questions over and over again and making stuff up, so I gotta, come on. I don't see a short yet, folks. Do you see sellers panicking and competing? Well, use some common sense now. Right? The price has been going up ever since we started this hour and a half session, right? Do you see that the price has to be put on sale? Looking at the chart. We'll use a little bit of common sense. I promise you, if you come into our room and spend some time with us, I will teach you in a simple manner how to make money and make a living in this business without blowing up accounts and without having to listen to a bunch of gibberish, right? Right? You'll get practical information, right? And that's what we want for you, folks. We don't want you to waste your life chasing some weird, made up stuff. Nice work, Joey. Next set of stops is 42. I do not see a short yet. In fact, when we open the next period in a minute, we're going to have single prints, which will show you where the short position is. Right? And that box will be full of buyers. So where the real shorts are going to come in is that overnight high. That's where the bids are going to be. So if we backfill down, your target will be 32. Cryptomania, I don't even know what that is. RSI divergence? No. But I once held a stock at $30 at 90 RSI on NASDAQ for 3 months. That much I know. But I have no idea what RSI divergence is. I have no clue what it is or how to use it, folks. Remember, throw the ball, hit the ball, catch the ball. This is a simple business, my friends. And I hope and wish that you all have a profitable morning. And remember, don't make it more complicated than it has to be. Okay? Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.